Welcome to another edition of the Gridiron Report. I'm Jarret Johnson. I'm joined by the Mighty Joe Yeager. Well, Mighty Joe, Texas Tech off to a 5-1 start, 3-0 in the Big 12. They're coming off the off week, as is Baylor. Their upcoming opponent this Saturday, 3 p.m. Central Time here at the Jones. By the way, that game will be televised on ESPN2. Mighty Joe, everything's lined up for Texas Tech to beat Baylor. An in-state conference rival. I mean, people's like, oh, they're not right. They're rivals.
Yeah.
As much as I think anybody is left in the Big 12, Baylor and TCU appear to be Texas Tech's rivals. You have both, the staffs, the familiarity with each other, the fact that obviously Coach McGuire came over and he brought a lot of assistants from Baylor to Texas Tech. He tried to downplay that fact as well, Mighty Joe. I'm not buying it. I think this is still a big deal for both of these coaching staffs. And Dave Aranda's fighting for his job. So what's your overall view of this game? I think Tech opened as 8.5-point favorites. I don't know what the line is now, but what do you think about this game?
Yeah, well, it makes me nervous because I feel really good about this game.
Right. I know what you mean.
I really do. I mean, I look at this thing as objectively as I can, and it looks like just line it up for Tech pretty well. If nothing else, I mean, you're getting really healthy all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I mean, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, you got some guys that are out for the season, obviously.
Yes.
But just about everybody else who wasn't completely disabled is going to be available, apparently, for this game. And so, I mean, that's going to help you, right?
Yeah.
And Tech is playing very, very well lately. They're on a hot streak. Baylor is not playing so well lately. They've lost 3 straight games. I believe they're 0-3 in Big 12 play right now.
They're 2-4 overall, 0-3
overall, 0-3 in the Big 12. And on top of that, I mean, early in the season, Baylor's defense was playing really well.
Yeah.
And that was winning them a couple of games, kept them in everything. These last 3 games, the defenses are starting to let them down. I mean, I believe these last 3 opponents are averaging something like 37 points per game. Now, that's inflated a little bit by the overtime game in Colorado, but not much. And so suddenly that defense that Baylor doesn't have, and they don't scare you too much on offense, to be perfectly honest. At least they don't scare me. Maybe they should. They don't. If you don't have any real heavy firepower on offense, and suddenly your defense isn't getting the job done, then man, what have you got? So, I mean, again, like I say, it looks good for Texas Tech, and we hope that it actually plays out that way.
Yeah, I think a couple of things need to keep happening. First off, homecoming, sellout crowd. It needs to be loud. That's something that Baylor linebacker Matt Jones 2 years ago said, that he called Tech fans fake fans. Remember, that was the Mahomes game. Baylor really whipped Texas Tech here. It was probably the worst performance. It was the worst performance of that first season under Joey McGuire. Tech got a lot of revenge last week with Baylor and Waco. So Tech needs to change that narrative of the road team winning. They need to, which is kind of weird, right?
Yes,
You wouldn't think that would be the case, but big crowd, homecoming crowd, they need to be loud. It's an afternoon game, so plenty of time to get liquored up, on the Saturday, college football Saturday. Not comatose. It's good timing. Also, I talked with the offensive coordinator, Zach Kitley, about Barry Morton taking care of the ball and just how he's played this season. 14 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. I don't think he's thrown an interception in Big 12 play. So that needs to continue. And then on defense, the inside linebackers have played like we were hoping going into the season. They have been tremendous. Ben Roberts was just a flat-out hero against Cincinnati, causing an interception with quarterback pressure, big fumble, forced fumble, led the team in tackles. And then Jacob Rodriguez against Arizona did the same thing, forced fumble, which was huge. That was the play of the game. Their All-American stud receiver. And then he also caused the interception that Q got, which was highly entertaining. I really liked reading what you said about it, too. And, had 13 tackles, was all over the place. Those 2 guys, I don't care who it is, they need to continue to step up. And it's not just them. Talk to defensive coordinator Tim DeRuiter about the play of all the inside linebackers, whether it be John Curry. Bryce Ramirez has played really well. And then Michael Dingle, what he adds in terms of his speed. That position has been here, especially in Big 12 play, dominant. Like we said, like we hoped, what we thought they were going to do. They need to do that again against Baylor. You got a quarterback from Lubbock coming in, Sawyer Robertson, who he's looked good to me at times. They have some big receivers. And they had that Colorado game won. They lost. They gave it up with that Hail Mary, but they had that game won. They were playing BYU really well before. I know it's a 4-quarter game. I'm just saying, like, I think you and I are looking for ways that Tech can lose this game because we feel so good about it. We've been in those situations so many times. And I do not think Tech could just show up and beat Baylor. They got to come out with that intensity, protect the football, and play at a high level at inside linebacker is my point.
Yeah, and boy, you called the inside linebackers before the season ever started. Said that was going to be the strength of the team, and absolutely it has been. They've just gotten better and better as the season's gone along. I mean, I think the first couple of games we were like, "Well, where are these guys?"
Yeah.
People were talking about how slow they looked and everything, and so forth.
Well, they did.
But now look at it. I mean, they've for whatever reason suddenly they're playing like a couple of first-team All Big 12 inside linebackers. And the depth there, as you mentioned, was great. As far as Baylor goes, you don't want those guys to be able to play a full 4 quarters against you. I mean, that's kind of the issue, I think, with Baylor is not being able to play complete games, finish things out, and to play the entire game through at a high level. Would be good, obviously, I think, if Texas Tech could just deliver a couple of knockout blows early in this game, kind of take the wind out of their sails and cruise on to victory. But yes, they're absolutely going to have to show up and do it. They're going to have to earn it, and we'll see.
I know that's kind of like the thought. Even McGuire brought it up on Monday during his press conference. Like the cardiac kids, you'd like to see Texas Tech run away with some of these games, but I don't care. Just win. They beat Baylor by 1 in triple overtime. Great. There is a difference, though. If you look at the other 3-0 teams in the Big 12, BYU and Iowa State, they've won by 18 and 19 points, respectively, per Big 12 game. So they're crushing folks. They're winning by 3 touchdowns. Tech just under 6 points a game. Now, all 3 of them are still 3-0, so it doesn't matter. But there is a difference there. You can see that difference. It's interesting, though, to me, Arizona State, Cincinnati, both 2-1. Their only losses in Big 12 play have been to Texas Tech. So, that tells you those wins are a lot better than I think maybe we'll do. And I thought they were good teams going into it. But I think ultimately, however, you got to do it. Get that win, go to 4-0, beat an in-state conference rival, and then move on. But if you had a point, we're going to do a Q3 game as well. But if you had a point to one thing Texas Tech needs to do, what do you think?
Like you said, I've got a few keys, and I'll kind of maybe save the meat of that other video.
Yeah.
But I think one thing is it seems like every defense Texas Tech has been playing, at least in conference play, has been able to put heat on quarterbacks pretty good. They've had some pretty good pass rushing teams. Texas Tech's pass protection has been really excellent. I don't think Baron Morton has got any grounds for complaint from what those guys are doing up front. And that needs to continue because Baylor is another one of these teams that can heat up the quarterback pretty well. Despite the fact that they're not playing so great defensively lately, I think you still have to kind of look at the defense as probably the strong suit of that team. And, give Barron some time to throw the football back there, and that's going to make a big difference for Texas Tech.
All right, Texas Tech versus Baylor, 3 p.m. Central Time here at the Jones. My Joe, great stuff for you as always. Thank you all for watching, and until next time.